Chris Black, sports with Chris Black, traffic and weather with Chris Black, covering what matters to you most, commitment to excellence in journalism, community involvement in everything that we do. Chris Black, the podcast, starts now.
What's up, friend? How you doing? I haven't seen you in a while. Taking a bit of a hiatus and recorded some sessions for us to kind of go through this week a little while back. I apologize. Life's been kind of crazy busy, but gives me lots of fun things to talk about. So before we go any further, make sure you swing by the website podpage.com/Chris Black. That's podpage.com/Chris Black. I've got a new website coming to you guys very, very shortly. So visit there. It'll show you how to connect with me online. It'll show you how to find me on the social media, see where to listen to the show, the other platforms, and all the other fun jazz. So without any further ado, let's get started with this week's episode number 14. Thanks so much for joining me, and hey, I hope we have some fun today. Kick back and relax, and let's get started with the show. Welcome back to the show. Thank you for joining us today. Welcome back to Chris Black, the podcast. And in today's first segment, we're going to go back to a segment I did a couple of years ago, actually, before I even knew what a podcast was. And this is about back to school. It's that time of year again, so back to school. And here you go. So I feel like I got a story to tell. I'm recording this on my Samsung Galaxy S3, and I don't know that I'll ever be able to use this for anything. But anyway, so let me kind of paint a picture for you. I left working for the bank a couple of months ago, and we moved back to Central Alabama, I guess you would say, and we've been here a couple months. It's been kind of hot. Wetumpka's a nice little town, and it's very enjoyable. I had some friends here before we moved to Opelika, but now we're back, and I've kind of been able to reconnect with some old friends, and it's been pretty neat. And Hope has made some new friends, and we had a birthday party for Christopher, and that was a lot of fun. And I was able to kind of invite some people that we knew and bring their kids over, and I think that's going to be the start of some really big things. But nothing really connects you with the community like back to school. And buddy, let me tell you, we live in two completely different worlds when it comes to school. So let me paint a picture for you. My kids go to two different schools. One's an elementary school and one's in the middle school. And the way it works here is they have grades K through 6 at one school, and then they have grades, for our purposes, 7 and 8 go to the middle school. That's, we kind of live out. We don't live in the city limits, we live in the county, so we're zoned for it's all the same school district. But our middle school is part of the city school, I guess you would say. Again, same school system. But where we live and where our children go to school are two completely different places. And it's really amazing the different types of people that we work with going to both. So our first introduction was I had to register or take the paperwork to get my kids registered for school. So that was kind of my first introduction to the differences in the two schools. And it's really interesting the way the elementary school is very, kind of what you would think. There's a lot of parental involvement. There's a lot of, community involvement in the school. And it's a very unique situation from what I'm used to. Most people send their kids to school and, they'll go to the, school events and things like that. It's kind of where it ends. And really with elementary, there's not a lot to do as far as extracurriculars and so forth. Then we go to the middle school, and again they got their stuff together, and there's a huge community involvement with the sports programs. These kids are working together from a very young age in the sports program. So like football players have been together for years. The same thing with like the basketball team, and of course you got soccer and several other sports. But these kids have all kind of grown up together, and it was so different from what I was used to living in Opelika, and that's phenomenal. And we get our little list of things we got to get done. One thing I did notice, the elementary school is kind of very specific and detailed and particular in what they got. And the middle school is kind of like, this is the outline, what you're going to need, so let's make it happen. But we'll take what we can get. The elementary school is like, make sure you get a specific type of, Crayola, twist up, whatevers. And not rose art, not, great value, crayons. I mean, they're very specific in what your needs are. And the middle school is like, make sure they got something to write with and something to write on. They don't care. I mean, it's vastly different. That's pretty awesome in my opinion. So we go to the open houses for both, and the elementary school is new. It hasn't been around very long. It's been around probably 5 or 6 years. I'm not really sure, but I think it was open. It was established in 2009. So anyway, it's probably been about 6 years, give or take. So we go to the open houses and we meet the teacher, and you walk in, and it's a very bright environment. We noticed as we were passing by classrooms, some really ornate doors were decorated, and it's just like a really fun place to learn and get excited about. And Skylar was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And then of course we go to the middle school next. The middle school is a little different. The middle school's been around for a little while. The building's been there for a minute. You can tell they've had some kids go to the hall, and it's a completely different experience. The classrooms are, they're not as decorated, but, they got some stuff on the wall. I mean, you kind of know it's a science class, but anyway, it's completely different from the elementary school. Skylar's kind of looking around. He's like, well, I came from the middle school at the other place. This isn't too bad. I'm good with that. So we get in the car and we start asking the kids, what was your biggest takeaway? And Christopher's like, this seems like the school I came from. I'm really excited about it. And Skylar said, well, the school doesn't seem as big as the one that I came from, and it's not 2 levels, so that should be a little easier. But he said he wanted to join the band program, so that's one thing that we kind of had to work to make happen. So we'll get with the director and make all that work. But anyway, the point I'm making with all this was, it was such a different experience being in a smaller town, being in, I say rural community. It's not really rural, but it kind of is in a way. And we've gotten to know a lot of phenomenal people. And, of course, if we have questions, we ask people that we know. And it seems like our network of people is getting much bigger. And, Hope, being a stay-at-home mom, has a different set of challenges. She's trying to make sure the kids have what they need, and she volunteers and does her thing with the school. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So we start school in a couple of days for the first time, so I'll be really excited to see how that first day of school goes. In the meantime, we're crazy busy at work, and we're trying to get the third quarter cranking. Man, it's been busy. We got a store inventory coming up, and it's just always something on the move. So we still got a couple months left on the house over in Opelika, so hopefully that thing will stand for a little while longer and we can turn our keys and walk away from it. It's been a nightmare. Nothing like having a house that's empty that you're responsible for but you're not using. It's just kind of nutso. But anyway, hopefully that'll be done soon enough. And hey, we're gonna keep trying it out here. So far so good. We love it over here in Wetumpka, and hopefully good things keep happening over here.
Welcome to a quick little game we like to play called 80s and 80 Seconds. This is where I ask a question about the 80s and see if my 14-year-old son knows the answer. You know how to play?
Yeah.
Alright, let's get started. What is a collect call?
A payphone call that you have to... I'm not sure. I think I kind of know what it is.
Okay, what is a long distance call?
It's a call that's long distance that you have to pay extra on your phone bill for.
What is dial-up referring to?
Internet.
Okay. What does star 69 mean?
I couldn't tell you that one. I actually don't know.
Alright, what about TGIF?
Thank God it's Friday.
Okay. What was Napster?
I don't know.
What about the DARE program? What's that?
It's like when police come to your school and teach you about like how to protect yourself during an active shooter situation or like whatnot. I don't know exactly.
Who is Zach Morris?
I don't know.
What is a burn CD?
If you want to put something on a CD, you have to use a CD burner to put what you want on it.
What is a fax machine?
I don't know.
What about a Walkman?
It's a radio, or not a radio, but it's a CD player, like a portable CD player.
And bam, that's the 80s in 80 seconds. Stay tuned for the next segment.
Welcome to our news segment, but today I'm going to do something a little bit different. It's August 1st. Whether we like it or not, August is here. Man, we are like hurtling toward the end of 22. I might start writing 23 on stuff before it's all said and done. But I thought I would do something a little different today under our news segment. Instead of talking about the doom and gloom and yada, 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 I figure let's have some fun with birthdays, celebrity, famous people birthdays, however you want to look at it. Let me tell you why that is. My birthday is August 19th. I will be 41 this year, and I have a whole lot of things to celebrate this year. The fact that I'm alive is nothing short of a miracle, but I've got a lot of really, exciting things. And then my birthday is going to be stupid busy. My son's moving back to college. My other son has his first night on the field with the band, and we're going to be in the car all day, and good Lord, it's insanity. So I thought let's, check out some celebrity birthdays on my birthday. And I learned something. August 19th is filled with a lot of people that I've never heard of that are considered famous. And no offense, I don't know. So I thought let's take a look at some of these. And, hey, some of these you probably knew, some of them you probably didn't. But they have 48 people basically saying that they have famous people that have birthdays today. So, we get started with Tony Lopez, TikTok star, Taylor Holder, TikTok star, Ethan Kudkowski, TV actor, John Stamos. Did not know that he would be 58 on my birthday. I grew up with old John Stamos, Uncle Jesse. Bill Clinton, President Clinton and we have shared a birthday for many years, and even when he was president, it was kind of a fun thing. He'll be actually 75 this year. I was kind of surprised by that. Then there's another YouTube star, pop star named Lexi Jade. Matthew Perry from Friends, or he's best known as role from Friends. Matthew Perry will be 52. Man, where does the time go? It's we're getting older, man. It's kind of terrifying if I'm being honest with you. Another YouTube star, TV actress, Brighton Charbino, 19. I don't know who I guess I don't watch enough TV. Another YouTube star, Coco Chanel. That's pretty dope. I didn't know Coco Chanel had shared a birthday. Of course, Coco Chanel died in 1971, so how would I know, right? I mean, let's be real. Couple more YouTube stars. Pop singer Christina Perri turns 35. Bassist John Deacon turns 70. Good night of living, man. I tell you what, I was surprised. He's from Queen. And, songs like We Are the Champion and Bohemian Rhapsody. But, I grew up with some of these people and watched them perform. And, I mean, the fact that he's 70, that's pretty neat, I guess. Sophie Aspen is a rapper of sorts, I guess. She turns 19. Fat Joe. Yeah, he turns 51. Gosh, it's hard to believe Fat Joe's 51. Good night. Chef, TikTok star, soap opera actress. Can't even say that name. TikTok star. Yeah, it's Katja Gleason's another pop singer. Not familiar with that. We got a Twitch star. We got a rapper, Romeo Miller. That's pretty cool. All right.
yeah, we also share the birthday with the Instagram star No Photo. Nate Dogg, I didn't realize. I guess I forgot Nate Dogg passed away back in 2011. We still share a birthday, so. The sculptor Robert Graham, he passed away back in 2008. There's some other, again, TikTok star, YouTube star, pop singer, Baby Queen. Hoodie Allen's a rapper at 33. I've never heard, but okay. Simon Bird, 37. Not saying that name. That's disgusting. And that's pretty much, who we round out the deal with here. So, a couple of things that happened on August 19th in the entertainment world. The big Spy Kids All the Time in the World released in 2011. Now, Spy Kids is kind of a big deal when my kids were a little bit. Christopher's kind of digging that for a period of time, but not really. Shark Tank premiered on August 19th in 2009. Excuse me. The 40-Year-Old Virgin released in 2005 on my birthday. Go figure. Let's see. We also have a couple other little odds and ends. As far as movie releases go, I do remember on I believe it was my 18th birthday, my brother took me to see The Kings of Comedy. The Kangs. We went and saw The Kings of Comedy in Auburn. As a matter of fact, he took me and he had a job, paid for everything. It was pretty cool. We had a lot of fun, and I tell you what, it's nothing like seeing Cedric the Entertainer and Bernie Mac on the big screen, D.L. Hughley, and of course my boy Steve Harvey on the big screen. That was an awesome show. It was totally worth it. At the end of the day, it's kind of sad to see that go away, but at the end of the day, we have had a lot of exciting things that have happened in the date of August 19th, and a lot of cool things that have happened throughout the month of August period. So it is back to school. We got a lot of fun things to consider with the back to school world. I always hated that growing up, I always had to go back to school. And I remember my birthday party used to be the weekend before school started, like when I was little. And so my mom would actually go to McDonald's and rent, we'd do the birthday party at McDonald's, which was so cool, man. I mean, it was like you get the McDonald's cake with the Grimace, the Hamburglar, Ronald McDonald. I mean, they decorated the little table for you. I mean, it was just, they did it up right. And of course, you play in the ball pit and hit the slides and make it happen. And they gave you the really awesome, birthday invitations for the, the McDonald's birthday, man. Like that was a big deal. Now, I don't know how expensive it was. I'm sure it wasn't terribly expensive. My mother was a single mother with a job in the teaching profession, so we weren't millionaires or anything, but my mom used to always make my birthday so special, and I always enjoyed I used to look forward to my birthday all the time, and she'd wake me up. And I can remember my 5th birthday, of course I was getting ready to start kindergarten, which was a lot of fun. She woke me up, and I remember I got this. It was kind of like a foam dartboard thing that you stuck on the wall, and it had these little balls that had Velcro on them. The idea was to toss the balls and get them on the little Velcro thing. And the balls had little rattles in them. I guess they were kind of weighted. I don't know. Man, I can tell you, I shot those stupid little Velcro balls on that target for hours. It felt like hours to me, and I remember my mom was getting ready, and I had to put on my birthday outfit, not my birthday suit, because, that would have gotten all of us in trouble. But I got to put on my little birthday outfit, and she surprised me. I had my birthday party at McDonald's, and nobody showed up. I mean, not a soul showed up. And I was like, okay. And I remember being kind of sad, but I didn't really care because I got all the cake to myself. I got all the party favors to myself. They gave me the balloons. I mean, I got I got to play with the kids that were in the ball pit and, on the playground. Like, it was a lot of fun. And, it's probably the weekend before school started. Yeah, people aren't going to a birthday party, not for real. But it's kind of like having a birthday party around, like, Christmas. I kind of understand how those kids feel a little bit. But for a long time, it was kind of like that. And then I think when I turned 7 or 8, I can't remember, I got parakeets for my birthday. It was pretty cool. Except one of them died from a heat stroke. True story. And so I wrapped it up and I was gonna bury it, but it was, for whatever reason, I couldn't bury the stupid thing, and so I put it away to bury it later, and it wound up. The cat got a hold of it in the yard, whatever, something to that effect. The cat got a hold of it, and it was just devastating. Well, I got a replacement bird, and I was taking care of my little parakeets, doing my thing and having fun, and I had them for a long time. And then one day I forgot to shut my door, and we had a cat, and that cat did what it did, and ate my birds. I was so pissed. I was mad at the cat. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was really upset about that, but it's one of the reasons why I don't give pets as gifts. So anyway, so the month of August is, I don't want to be a jerk and say it's my birthday month, but hey, look, I'm happy to be alive. We're gonna celebrate 41 this year. I'm doing the countdown. When I turn 50, I'm doing a Dean Martin style roast. I wanted one for my 40th, but Skylar said if I could make it through to the big 5-0, I could have the filthiest, most disgusting, raunchiest roast on the planet. So guess what? I'm going to make it through. So stay tuned for the next segment as we have more fun and exciting things to talk about. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you soon.
Tales from the greatest decade ever.
Come for the pizza, stay for the fun. The Showbiz Pizza Place 25-cent game tokens made going out for pizza an exciting experience. A new concept in family entertainment evolved from the introduction of video games. After Atari introduced the first video game, Pong, the corporation was looking for ways to introduce video games to younger players, offering games, pizza, and entertainment for the whole family as Chuck E. Cheese's Family Time Theater. The first location opened in San Jose, California in 1977. A year later, Robert Brock, owner of a chain of Holiday Inns, bought into the franchise, while creator Aaron Fletcher was developing an animatronic band he called the Wolfpack 5 that featured human-sized animals. As Brock was preparing to open Chuck E. Cheese location in Kansas City, he suddenly decided to try a different concept and opened at Showbiz Pizza Place on March 3rd, 1980. Despite the popularity of both Chuck E. Cheese and Showbiz Pizza, by 1990, Showbiz locations were being rebranded as Chuck E. Cheese. The Rockathon Explosion characters were replaced. Using the original animatronic band characters, an arcade bar named Rockafire opened in Kansas City in Midtown area of 2018, but closed a year later. Showbiz Pizza, Chuck E. Cheese, you will sorely be missed. It's 22 minutes past the top of the hour. I'm your host, Chris Black of Chris Black the Podcast, and I got a new website for you. It's called iworkwithbs.com. I know what you're thinking, but it's not that. iworkwithbs.com is a website that'll show you all types of fun and exciting business solutions for your business, help you be more productive, make some more money, and maybe be a little happier at the end of the day. Put a couple of dollars in your pocket. Anyway, swing by. They're a big supporter of the show, and check them out today, iworkwithbs.com. So last segment we talked about August being my birthday month, but unfortunately it's also back to school, and I keep talking about this because it's Christopher pretty much started 3 weeks ago with doing the band stuff, so now they're done with band. He's got a couple rehearsals between now and then. We have 7 sleeps and we're back to school, so kind of sucks, but I was talking to my mom last week about a few things pertaining to back to school, and I was reminded of a funny story. At least it was kind of funny to me, not to her. So we used to come up here. We grew up in Orlando, Florida, or the Orlando area, and we used to come up here and visit my grandmother who lived in Montgomery, and sometimes I go visit my grandparents that lived in Huntsville also, but we would go down to the outlet malls. And this is before outlet malls were kind of a big deal. Like, you had to go 2 or 3 hours, and they had the place where you go buy the stuff for, like, the jeans. You could buy them at Vanity Fair, and it was really kind of a cool deal. But anyway, so long story short, I used to, it was about a 2.5 hour ride, give or take, and we go shop, and we get some food, and then we go to the other places, and discount this and whatever that. You get the idea. So it was a lot of fun. The only problem was I hated it because it was a 2.5 hour drive down there. We leave stupid early in the morning, and by the time we got back, we're just exhausted. But I was always looking for ways to kind of make my life easier, even as a kid. So we try some stuff on. I'm digging it. All right, so these pants fit, like them. Let me get 5 pairs. These shorts fit. Let's go ahead and get 3 pairs. You know, digging the shirt. Let's go ahead and get one of these in each color. And, you know, away we go. And my mother's like, you can't, Chris. You got to diversify. Let's get some different things. And I'm like, nah, I mean, it's good, man. They fit, looks good. She's like, no, you really can't do that. I'm like, what do you mean I can't? She's like, you cannot wear the same thing every day to school. I'm like, but it's different clothes, so people aren't going to know the difference. And I'm like, it doesn't matter. Like, these pants are comfortable, these shorts are comfortable, these shirts are good. Like, why do I have to? She's like, you're not Ernest P. World. Hey, Vern. No, I'm not. And she's right. I can't wear, you know, the same thing every day. And so I kind of understood and never really gave it much thought. And I forgot about it for a very, very, very long time. And about 3 years ago, my dad, who's a truck driver, and one day I'll have him on the show, maybe. My dad starts showing up on Facebook in the same red checkered shirt, like all the time. And he'd take pictures in Delaware or Tennessee, wherever he was that day. And after, I don't know, probably about a month or so, I really was kind of like, and I took notice when he came home wearing said shirt. I'm like, damn, he wears a shirt all the time. This is ridiculous. So I'm like, Pops, what's the story with the shirt? He's like, what do you mean? I was like, you wear the same shirt every single day. He says, you would probably assume that based on the fact that I'm always wearing it. I said, yes, I would. He informs me that is in fact his uniform. He has purchased 6 shirts, the exact same color, the exact same size, at the exact same time. He literally wears them with the same type of shorts. Same thing. Same color, same design, same style, same size, 6 pairs. He buys socks by the bag like the rest of us, but he only wears socks one time. Like, Dad, what's up with the socks? Well, they get filthy. I can't. So he buys socks on a recurring basis. I'm like, Pops, you can wash those socks. I don't really know about that. He's got a thing about washing socks, which I thought was hilarious, but he really does have a thing about the socks. So I said, okay. Why? That was kind of I'm not really understanding what the story was. So he and I ventured down this road about how complicated life can be and how hard it is to make decisions, and how this allows him and affords him the opportunity to not have to worry about what he's wearing today or tomorrow or ever. So my dad, for the last at least 2 years that I know of, has been wearing his uniform. And he doesn't wear pants. Even in the winter, it doesn't matter. He doesn't wear pants. He will probably consider pants at a funeral, or if there's a legal something, he's got to go to court, something to that effect. But I mean, like, seriously, I'm not being funny. Beyond, like, he just doesn't wear pants, and my brother doesn't either. My brother is his, ride or die. He goes everywhere with them. My brother Alex has a condition known as Fragile X. He's basically a really big 6-year-old. And he's a lot of fun, and he can be quiet sometimes. He's usually pretty quiet. But really cool guy, man. He's a big dude, though. He's tall. He's husky. He don't play around when it comes to protecting his family. He's, always had fun with Alex. But he and my dad, he basically rides in the truck with my dad all the time. And he loves it. He's got a system, and Alex has got his own wardrobe situation going on. The collared shirts are a no-go. He doesn't do collared shirts at all. Buttons are kind of questionable. Simple shorts, simple t-shirt. He's comfortable, and that's how it's got to be. And you know what? I get it 100%. Like, I'm not even mad about it. It doesn't frustrate me. Hey, what do you want to wear? All of his shirts and all of his shorts match regardless. So it doesn't matter. He can wear whatever he wants to. Reminds me of the time when my Christopher was little, and we used to buy Garanimals, and basically you had to match the tags, like for the short or for the top and the bottom, so to speak, and you had a matching outfit. I thought that's pretty cool. Like, I don't know who came up with that, but giraffe, all right, cool, we got an outfit for the day. And then as they started, getting dressed beyond toddler clothes and so forth, and started school and went out into public, I mean, I know it matches within reason, but I mean, Christopher always kind of had his own way of dressing, and Skylar did to a degree, but Christopher was always very particular. I mean, if you look at some of his pictures when he was in elementary school, man, he's got his little sweaters, and I mean, he was a lot of fun to dress up. Now, I mean, basketball shorts and a clean shirt, and that's about where we're at. Going to school when I was in high school was about like people traveling back in the day on an airplane. You got dressed up, you wore your khakis, you tucked in your button-down shirt, you got put together. That's how it was. And nowadays it's like all these. I pull up to the school and these kids they're not really in pajamas, but some of them are like legit looking pajamas, and you got people that are wearing the basketball shorts and the t-shirt, which is, I mean, they're gonna be comfortable. I get it. I mean, they're smarter than we are, I guess, but it's just a completely different world from what I grew up with. And so I thought band camp and football practice, that was where they wore the sporting gear. Nah, man, not at all. Under Armour UA is the logo essentially, and I refuse to buy Under Armour. I like their products, but I'm not gonna buy anything with a huge UA on it, because it's to me it's unathletic, and that's exactly what I am. I don't want to point that out. But it's kind of like people buying yoga, ladies that buy the yoga pants, but they don't do yoga for real, but they're comfortable. That's what these kids have done, essentially. They found what works, and they're good with it. They don't make fun of each other for wearing Crocs and crazy stuff that I'm just like, we got beat down wearing Crocs when I was like, nah, man, they don't worry about that. Of course, you got to remember, we used to wear track pants, tearaway track pants, okay? And of course, me and my friends growing up, I'm not gonna say his name. We'll call him JH. JH was my boy. I mean, like, we were like thick as thieves in high school, and he rode to school with me most days, and we hung out, and we were percussionists together. We were on the bass line together, and all that. And we used to have an Adidas outlet, and we go to the Adidas outlet, man. We get our Adidas shirts and we get our track pants, and we used to all wear these damn track pants to school. I mean, it wasn't even, and of course, we're not going to tear them away to go jogging or nothing like that, but we liked them because they were cool and they were comfortable. And I remember I always had to buy on the, they were topping out sizes, you know what I'm saying? Like that 2X kind of, that's where I had to be, I had to be real careful with that. But that was the cool stuff when I was in school, man. And you got the pants, and you got the t-shirt, and then of course you had to get the jacket to go with that. That was what the entire tracksuit situation consisted of, man. Like that's where it's at. So I don't know, we kind of like doing that to a small degree, but I mean, it was like I said, button down shirt, you got your khaki pants, your casual shoes with your JanSport backpack, and then on those days you weren't doing that, you wore your tracksuit, your Adidas sneakers, and you're just kind of real chill. It's kind of like you're, like, all right, today we're just gonna be chilling and we're gonna get a little workout in, which we weren't working out worth a damn. But anyway, it's just kind of funny. Stick around. We've got some more show for you left, and we'll be right back. Well, when you hear that sound, that means our time this week has come to an end, and I had a lot of fun. I hope you did too. There's always more to share. Don't worry, I've got almost 41 years worth of stories and information to share, and little by little, I'll give it to you, piece by piece. But till next time, don't forget to swing by podpage.com/Chris Black. check out ways to get the show notes, and also find out how to connect with me on social media if you haven't already done so. Look forward to seeing everybody next week, and hey, thanks again. Be safe.